Sheila, good evening. I didn't go to the auction. So I sat home. Some woman on Facebook advertised free tomatoes. You could get 5 or 10 pound bags. She would bag them for you. So I told her I'd take 10 pounds, and she said I'll have them out by the garage, bagged up with your name on them. Give me the address. I pulled up there, and she was just bringing them out. She walked them over to my car and handed them to me. So, nice tomatoes too. They weren't the big ones, but there were aromas and some other ones. No, no, no. Kevin is though. He's probably sitting on his hands to keep from clapping. You know how he is. Him and Kim Pfeiffer probably both sitting side by side watching it. $72 degrees out right now. Chilly, chilly. They're probably drinking Schlitz, you're right. Or Pat's Blue Ribbon. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with Pat's Blue PBR or Schlitz. I like both them beers. Uh, let's see. Well, that's kind of, as long as it doesn't go forward and reverse. The golf carts, they have, I think it is an 8 horse in it, but they're Robbins motors. And they, forward and reverse is built right into the engine. Yeah. That's the bad thing about it. You put a regular engine on it, it don't have a reverse. The Robbins engine, when you starts it up, you can start it up in forward or in reverse. It starts it up either way. Well, it depends on what the engine is that was put on it. If it's got a Robbins engine, um, and the switch is right there on the side, right there in the middle, forward and reverse, that just reverses the polarity on the starter. Um, there probably is some that have a reverse, but usually what the reverse is on them golf carts is like the three-wheeler motorcycles. It's just electric starter motor on there, and you hit the reverse, and it just turns the starter motor over and reverses it. So you could. Did you buy it cheap, or you didn't buy it yet? Just turn the seat around. Yeah, it's electric. That Predator had electric start on it. No, well, that's what it said. He said it had electric on it, but it was electric and doesn't have reverse. No, right. The electric ones in the two, they don't have the reverse is not in the rear end. Mamie and Grammy, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, the electric ones in the two cycles, the reverse is in the engine or on the switch to reverse the polarity on the motor. Now, the one with the four stroke, yeah, that probably does have the reverse in the rear end. I've never dealt with any of them, but I'm glad you're doing great. Yeah, just by throwing the switch to forward and reverse, reverses the polarity on the starter, so it makes it run one way to start it for forward and one way to start it for reverse. We had a nice Easy Go, damn nice one, 36-volt electric. It was nice. Um, Had it for about 2 seasons, and then we ended up trading it. I traded it for a pickup truck. I needed a truck worse than I needed a golf cart. I always wanted a golf cart for the campground, and then when I got one, I ended up needing a pickup truck worse than I needed a golf cart. Evening, Dan. This was a club, yeah. Huh. Did you see the you got a letter from Trump today? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. They're a maniac. There was a, a person that claimed he wanted to assassinate. He threatened to kill a presidential candidate. And they found out which one it was. It was Trump. And it was in Arizona, and this guy was from Arizona. So they've been looking for him. I don't know if they found him yet or not. 60 some years old, pedophile, child molester, been arrested a few times and convicted. Um, they found him? Good. Probably that's why he liked Uncle Joe. Could have. Could have wanted to play with them hairs, you know. Weird duck is a weird duck. Oh, yeah, he'll get a pardon. I'm sleeping in tomorrow. Shut my alarm off tonight so I don't have to wake up tomorrow in the morning. Well, Uncle Joe's in California right now. That's where he was headed. He was headed on a week's long vacation. 70 degrees. It just dropped 2 degrees. Come on, Dad. Sign my pardon because if you don't wake up tomorrow, I could be in jail. You got to get up. I know it's trash day. Yeah. Hmm. Uh, I actually took about an hour and a half, 2 hour nap today. Girl, she took one with me. Then she'd get up and then she'd come back and take another one with me. And I was sitting in there watching TV. She was taking a nap on my lap while I was watching TV. I picked her up and said, "You got to go over here." So I put her on the bed. I think she's still out there or in there. I know it. I could take a nappy now. So I tell you what, this ringing in my ears is just driving me nuts. Got an ad coming up in 55 seconds. Huh. Oh, yeah? Talking about the one that threatened to kill Trump? I know it's tough. It is because it just drives you absolutely nuts. Sometimes it isn't so bad, it's low. And then other times, man, it's all your knee. And yeah, then people get mad when you can't hear them. I get yelled at all the time because what did I did? I said something. I didn't hear you. I can't hear you. I'm half deaf. I got to have the TV up around 50 in order to hear it. Even louder than that if the ringing in my ears louder. I wouldn't doubt that at all. But really, when it really drives me nuts is when it goes. That's when it drives you nuts. It isn't constant. It's. Oh, I bet. Chinese Mike? Yeah. There she is. Pretty girl. Oh, kitty kitty. Pretty girl. I bet it does block out the screaming finches. Yeah, see how far they get. You're right. Oh, we're gonna get stoned. Let's go, people. They're gonna get it. We're gonna get stoned over there. Hmm. I know. It won't bother you. Okay, there you go. That's right. Well, it's gotta work. How you know it works? Well, it worked on your ass, didn't it? That's right. Rub toilet paper all over it. You think that'll make it grow? It has to, because it worked on your ass, didn't it? Yeah. Oh, well, here's a beverage caddy to go behind that Easy Go there junkyard if you get one. You can put cold uh, liquids in it, bottles and cans of pop and soda, and you know, cruise around the neighborhood and start selling, go door to door selling. Huh. Yeah, so abused. I am abused. I didn't say I was abused. I said I can't hear nothing. And you scream at me because I don't hear you. It's not that I am ignoring you. I just can't hear you. By the way, good evening, Kathy. You're looking lovely as ever. I'm going to have to pass on that. Cheddar cheese and coffee. Yeah, listen harder. That's right. If she would pay attention. I didn't know you were suicidal. Yeah, I know. I should know. I should be able to understand what she's going to say before she says it, Junkyard. By now, I know it. I don't. Put in your mouth is bad for your health, especially if you sleep with both eyes shut. Yeah. You sleep with one eye open, right? Huh. Did you sleep with one eye open? Yeah. Did you say, I see you? Oh. Jimmy, how are you? Nice to see you. I've been okay. Still taking nourishment and oxygen. Rosanna, 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 Dana, Rosanna, Dana, Anna, Rosanna, Dana, Anna, Rosanna, Dana, Anna. Good evening, Rosanna. You're welcome. Yes, nobody's got anything else to do on a Thursday night. It's damn sure ain't watching the Democratic National Convention, eh? Pork tenderloin and cheesy cauliflower? That sounds good. Won't be tuning in. I know. Well, it really doesn't matter because any news you look at, it's all it's on. So you're watching Cops. You're on Reels. Um, I'd make a pork tenderloin. I would cut the fat cap off of it, and I'd save the fat cap. But I'd cut the fat cap off, and then I would wrap it in bacon, side to side, and around, so it was all completely covered in bacon. Then I would put the fat cap, back on top of the pork tenderloin. I would put it in the oven at like 325 degrees and start it and just let it cook 4 or 5 hours like that. Actually, hamburger steak with gravy and mashed potatoes. The leftover from the other day. I better do something with it. No, I don't have any vinyl records. Got an ad coming up in 55 seconds. I haven't seen Mason in a long time. Went to get me a Swiss roll out of the cabinet, reached in the box, and the damn box is empty. Somebody ate them and left the box in there. So, did he? That's cool. I actually drove today. Today's the first time I drove a car since the 30th of July. So, I know there ain't. Uh, like a bad penny. I think I'm gonna fry up some um, cod tomorrow. Either fry it up or I don't know if I'll fry it up or just broil it, bake it, whatever. Cod is good. You're right. Cod is great. Red snapper. Catfish is good too. I like catfish. I like bass, bluegill, cod. Jambalaya, pie, oh, the gumbo. I like jambalaya too. I like red beans and rice. I actually had that for a snack the other day. At a Southgate, they canned food. They had Southgate chili and, you know, I don't know, they sell different kinds of stuff. But red beans and rice. I'm trying to find out where, I can't remember where I got them from, but I thought I got it at the Dollar Tree, but I can't find it there. So maybe it's at the General Dollar. I don't know. But red beans and rice, Southgate. It was pretty good. Now we'll buy the Xanadans jambalaya, but I think it's too salty. So they have another jambalaya. I can't remember who makes that, but it's an off brand. And we usually end up making a Zatarans and that one of them, the off brand box together to cut down on the salt because the Zatarans, I think it's way too salty. Oops. Yeah, I was just there. I got 4 or 5 cans here. I haven't had any in a while. So they are good, man. Them seasoned butter beans. Yeah. Zatarain's? Yeah, it's really salty for some reason. They got way too much salt in that damn shit. Now, what you might want to do is when you're making it, make yourself a boil-in bag rice and add another bag of rice. Add a boil-in bag rice to it, and maybe that might help. Or you can buy rice already made that just needs to be warmed up. It's already been cooked and stuff. You can buy a bowl of that, throw in there, and that'll help. It absorb some of that salt in the other rice. Or throw a peeled potato in there and while you're cooking it, let the peeled potato will soak up a lot of that excess salt. I'm not just another pretty face. Yeah, yeah. Save the tater for Amish. Yeah, I actually bet the tater would taste good after it's been cooked in that Zatarain's. Extra hot sauce. There you go. Texas Pete. Lola's. Louisiana hot sauce. And this is Taco Red. Or Red Taco. Kinder's. Whatever I'm in the mood for, that's what we put on there. And then we have Diablo from Taco Bell. That shit would light you up right there. Or mild, you know. Yeah, mild. Take a shot. Why would I do that? This is fine hot sauce, all natural. Green jalapeno and serrano. Ingredients: pepper blend, green jalapeno and green serranos, vinegar, lime juice, garlic, and salt. That's all that's in it. There ain't no chemicals and nothing. Shake well, pour slow. Gluten free, vegan. It is a natural pain reducer. Now, this stuff, on the other hand, uh-oh. Huh. Might have to throw this away. I don't understand why I should have to, but I might. Huh. I like the Valenticians. I got some over there. This right here is Kinder's hot sauce. Anaheim peppers, Anaheim chili peppers, citric acid, wine, water, vinegar, garlic powder, cayenne, all that other stuff. But it says, and I didn't read it until just now, refrigerate after opening. Do not freeze. It's already open. It's been open for a couple of days. So I don't know if it's any good or not anymore. I don't know. I wouldn't know why you'd have to refrigerate it. Any other hot sauce you don't have to refrigerate because of all the vinegar and stuff that's in it. I don't know. Probably because this thing's got like 92-degree ingredients on it, and they're all, excuse me, they're all chemicals. All the other ones are just regular ingredients. But this one has a bunch of chemicals in it too, but this doesn't, you don't need to refrigerate this. Shit, we don't refrigerate any taco or hot sauce around here, and half the time ketchup doesn't. Uh, I don't know. It just says refrigerate after opening on it. So ketchup will sit out for you know hours and hours and hours. The only thing we ever refrigerate is mayonnaise and Miracle Whip and mustard. I don't even think you have to even refrigerate mustard or ketchup because of all the vinegar that's in it. This is bourbon style hot sauce, which is pretty good. I do like this, the green stuff. I had to see how big if they got bigger bottles of it. Oh yeah, they leave it out on tables and counters all the time. It's just this one right here says explicitly to refrigerate after opening, so there must be something in it that can go bad or whatever. So I'm not gonna tempt that. I got butter sitting over there by the stove. Been there 4 days, 5 days. Butter on the counter. No. When I was a kid, we always had butter on the counter, on the table. Grandma had it on the table. Great grandma had it on the table. Everybody had it on the table. Yep. Syrup and butter was always on my grandpa and grandma's table. My mom's mom, my grandma, um, she would make my grandpa every morning. She'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and she would go out to the barn or whatever, chicken coop, and she would get eggs. If they didn't have any in the house, she'd go get eggs. And then she would make my grandpa pork chops and eggs, with pancakes or, whatever, and biscuits. You name it, my grandpa got like a 5-course breakfast. And then after he'd eat breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock, whatever time they'd have breakfast, got ad coming up in 35 seconds. After he had breakfast, he'd show up back home around noon and she would have dinner, lunch. And he would have either chicken or rabbit. You need a whole, like 3-pound game bird or, chicken or a rabbit with mashed potatoes and gravy and peas or corn or whatever. And he'd have a whole meal. Leave there and he'd go to work till 6, 7 o'clock at night and he'd come home for dinner. Did that every day for years. And it's probably what killed him. Because I was 10 years old when he passed away, and he's been gone 51 years. My grandma's been gone about 35 years, I think. Yeah. No, he lived in the country. I know, now it's a pill. You're right. He owned his own heating, plumbing, and electrical uh, company. There's a neighborhood over here um, by the airport subdivision, and probably 95% of the houses in there, if they were built uh, before 73 or 74, my grandpa put in the heating, the plumbing, and the electrical in those houses. So I'm pretty sure they've all been updated, but my grandpa did almost every house there. He did hundreds and hundreds of houses. And then right down the street from where they lived, there's 2 houses there that are duplexes, 2-story apartment houses. Um, there you go. My grandpa, he took 4 hay wagons and he mounted them together. And he backed them underneath a house, jacked up a house, backed them underneath it. And he hauled 2 of these houses for a guy down to, from town, all the way down to where they are now at the corner or down by Ogden and 223. Back then, you didn't need a bunch of permits or anything. All you had to do was tell somebody you was moving them, and they would, the electrical companies and stuff would take down the wires as you was coming. And he pulled them with John Deere bees. I remember that clear as day when I was a kid. I sat right there and watched him come right down the road with them. I know. Hey, he built. He also did septic tanks. My grandpa built septic tanks, and then he would dig a hole and deliver them and set them and stuff. But my grandpa built a homemade backhoe and built it on the back of his truck, his state truck. He would deliver the tank on the same truck, and he would dig the hole with that same truck and put it in there with it. Are you looking to get your ass kicked?
Did you watch Charles Van Life?
I'm just tuning up.
What are you doing?
Where's she at? She over there? I thought she was over there. See? She doesn't want it. You see how she settled right down?
Yeah.
Yeah. She knows. You find her?
Yep.
Looking out the window? Yeah. All right, everybody. It's time for me to get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow night.
For that little thing.
I know. How much?
$6.
$6 for it.
Oh,
Thanks,
God.
Joe. Huh?
What are you doing jumping like that?
Yeah, $6 for a small little squeezable bottle of Miracle Whip. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. You know, prices are going to go up, you know. It's the cost of living. See you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, if you're so inclined to join me.
What are you doing?
Take care, everybody.